What is going on, guys? It's Rahman, and welcome back to another episode of NBA Kicks, the show where we take a look at the best sneakers worn across the entire NBA with new episodes every single week of the season. So if you haven't subscribed and ring that notification bell, you simply just don't love sneakers. Today we have an awesome episode for you guys. Every pair of kicks from number 10 all the way to number 1 is absolutely knocking, and I can't wait to show you guys the kicks. I'm so excited that I'm actually gonna skip this week's news break and we're just gonna get straight to the list. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a snack and enjoy the show. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with a new colorway of the Converse AllStar Pro BB Evo. SGA rocks a smiley face colorway of the modern retro silhouette, which uses a basic black and yellow color scheme, but obviously stand out with that smiley face graphic on the upper, which give these an overall affable look that's honestly kind of hard to hate on. This is yet another great colorway of the AllStar Pro BB Evos, and you'd have to think that if a bigger name was rocking these, they'd get a lot more attention. But I'm gonna try my damnedest to give these the attention that they deserve, because looking at these, it just puts a smile on my face. Next up at number 9, we have Steph Curry with a new colorway of the Curry brand Curry 8. So the Curry 8 is actually at the top of my list of most excited sneakers that I can't wait to hoop in once everything starts to open back up again. But even though I really want to play basketball in these, I'll be the first one to admit that for the most part, the colorways that have been dropping of them so far have been pretty underwhelming. And this colorway that Steph rocked against the Pistons almost got it right. Using a white, blue, and yellow Warrior color scheme, this colorway makes the bold move of using a patent leather-like material on the overlay, which usually isn't something that I'm a huge fan of, but on the Curry 8, I have to admit, it doesn't look that bad. But my problem with this colorway is that sloppy gradient that's on the midsole. Usually I'm really a huge fan of gradients, but this blue to white just looks cheap and homemade, and I think this colorway will look a lot cleaner without it, which is pretty disappointing since the 8s need all the help that they can get. But if you can look past this, it's still a solid colorway, and that patent leather material looks oh so nice on the hardwood. It's funny, usually I don't like patent leather, but on these I kind of do, and usually I like gradients, but on these I kind of don't. It's kind of flipping my world all upside down. Coming in at number 8, we have Rui Hachimura with a player exclusive of the Air Jordan 35. Now, Jordan Brand has been absolutely killing it this year with their player exclusive colorways of their latest flagship model. But while this Rui Hachimura PE does kind of play it safe, I still couldn't leave it off the list. Using Rui's team colors of red, navy, and gray, Jordan Brand decided to spice things up a bit with a crimson-like color for the upper, as well as purple speckled laces, which add some depth and variety. And of course, you got Rui's Shinto Shrine logo right there on the tongue for some added personality. These might not be as impressive when you stack them up to Rui's other player exclusives, but it's still a solid colorway and make the most out of the generic team colors that the Wizards have. Next up at number 7, we got Darius Bazley with a new player exclusive of the 2-way from New Balance. Now, in case you forgot, Bazley took a very interesting route to the NBA. Instead of going to college, Bazley took an internship at New Balance worth $1 million before he eventually entered his name into the NBA draft. That's why you're seeing Bazley here with a player exclusive colorway of New Balance's latest basketball silhouette, the 2-way, which uses a very Captain Marvel-like color scheme with a mixture of red, yellow, and blues. And you also have DB's logo right there on the tongue, while a cityscape graphic wraps around the toe box. Now, I'm not too sure exactly what cityscape that is, but maybe it's his hometown of Brockton, Massachusetts. Either way, I'm really loving the vibrant colors that New Balance is offering here, and of course the personal touches that truly make these a player exclusive. Next up at number 6, we have Willie Cauley-Stein with a custom colorway of the Curry brand Curry 8. Over the years, Willie Cauley-Stein has really showcased his love for anime with a number of awesome custom sneakers, but this time he uses his former teammate's latest signature sneaker as his canvas. Now, I'm no anime expert, so I'm not even going to guess what the source material is here, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate it. Willie decided to go with a basic black and white colorway as the base, which really allows the artwork on the overlay to stand out, and I also really like how the artwork isn't truly fully complete. it kind of gets cut off by the rest of the sneaker, which makes these feel more like an official colorway instead of a custom. At the end of the day, you don't even have to be a fan of anime to really appreciate how clean this custom is, and that's why you're seeing them on this week's list. Next up at number 5, we got Jayson Tatum with a new PE of the Air Jordan 35. Jayson Tatum's latest PE is inspired by his love of playing video games with his son Deuce and uses a black upper alongside some green accents, while the Eclipse plate is painted in a red, yellow, and green gradient, which you guys know I'm a fan of, while the tongue and outsole keep things simple with white. There's also a racing graphic on the heel, making me think that JT and Deuce have been putting in work on Mario Kart, and that Eclipse plate is actually a nod to Rainbow Road. Regardless, this is an awesome player exclusive, and if Deuce ever ends up making it into the league, who knows, maybe we'll get this same exact colorway on the Air Jordan 53. Next up at number 4, we got Zion Williamson with another new colorway of the Air Jordan 35. Alright, so Zion is back at it again with another Southern-inspired player-exclusive colorway, but this time, it's marked with voodoo. Using a voodoo-inspired purple print, exposed stitching, as well as special graphic on the heel, this colorway perfectly captures the swamp voodoo culture of New Orleans to make what is one of the more unique colorways that we've seen this season so far. When I first saw this colorway, the first thing that popped into my mind were those Caroline dunks that Nike dropped a while back, but this PE does just enough to stay unique, and it really gets me excited to see what Jordan Brand has up their sleeve once they eventually drop Zion's first signature sneaker, the Z Code, later this spring. Next up at number 3, we got PJ Tucker with the debut of the Yeezy 2 Cheetah Kobe 6 Pro Tros. Alright, so PJ isn't on NBA kicks as much as he used to, but when he is on the show, he's on for a good reason. And this player-exclusive colorway of the Kobe 6 Pro Tros is going to have fans begging Nike to eventually drop them. These are inspired by a special colorway of Yeezy 2s that were actually inspired by the purple cheetah Kobe 7s that Kobe wore on Christmas. And while I was never a huge fan of that colorway, nostalgia has definitely changed my mind on them, and I personally think that it translates extremely well onto the 6s, as you can see here with PJ's PE, which is pretty much a direct copy with the same color scheme as well as glow-in-the-dark outsole. This is definitely one of the more cleaner Kobe 6s that we've seen thus far, and hopefully Nike drops these in the future, as they would be a perfect new colorway to appease both new Kobe fans as well as the old ones. It's really a win-win, so Nike, just do it, please. Coming in as our runner-up, we have Damian Lee with a custom colorway of the Curry 8. So last week was the anniversary of Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant's death, as well as everyone else on that helicopter. But there were a few custom colorways worn throughout the league that honored the occasion. We had Joel Embiid with a custom colorway of the Embiid 1. Steph Curry had a custom of the Curry 8. But the pair that Damian Lee put together in collaboration with Creative Custom Kicks on Instagram was easily my favorite out of the 3. Using the Butterflow colorway of the Curry 8 as a base, each side of the shoe has portraits of both Kobe and Gianna, while the purple overlay adds some depth and color, as well as some basketball-themed graphics for creativity. Creative Custom Kicks also did Steph's pair as well, which have a more somber theme with the same portrait-style layout, but this time with a basic black and purple colorway. And while all 3 pairs are great, Lee's pair is easily my favorite thanks to its vibrant color scheme and more creative design, and that's why I decided to put them on the list over the other 2. Finally, at number 1, we have Devin Booker with a smoking PE of the Nike Kobe 6 Pro Tro. Alright. I know there's a lot of Kobe's on this week's list, but honestly guys, how could you look at these and not put them at the number 1 spot? Booker's latest PE uses a sick gradient yellow to orange to purple upper that flows absolutely seamlessly with the dark purple tongue and heel, while a white swoosh midsole and outsole round things out for what I think is easily the cleanest new colorway of the Kobe 6s that we have ever seen. I really love how Booker also wrote Be Legendary on the front of the midsole, which I also believe he got a tattoo of as well, as this is a nice personal touch that adds some personality and of course reminds us to be legendary like the late great Kobe Bryant. At the end of the day, this PE does just enough to feel new and fresh, but doesn't do too much to make things complicated, It's just an amazingly put together PE that fits Booker perfectly, and it's got me praying that Nike drops these at retail, because the more Kobe 6s the merrier, especially if they're dropping in impeccable colorways such as these. I think it's safe to say that I can speak on behalf of the entire NBA Kicks community that this was easily the best pair of sneakers worn during week 6 of the 2021 NBA season. But if you disagree, let me know what your favorite pair was in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell for new episodes of NBA Kicks every single week of the season. My name is Jaren. It's been great having you. I'll catch you guys in next week's episode. Peace.